what happened in the world of crypto this week? Well, joining me to discuss that is Peter Ganter from TruBadger. And Peter, we have some special guests. I'd love for you to introduce them and our topic for this week.
Yeah, Bob. Well, thank you for having us again. We love the crypto space. We love what's going on. And we're on a search to find projects, real people in the crypto space that are doing great things, that are working on improving it, that are working on making it easier for people to get involved with. And of course, that leads us to our guests, which are the Sonar gentlemen that are here to talk about their project that they're building out. This is a project that has been just absolutely cranking for the last month or so since they launched this. So we have Jean-Pierre and Elias. How are you guys today?
We're doing great. Well rested, yes. Finally.
Well, you guys have been busy, especially the last week with what's going on with your project and things moving forward. So real quick, guys, explain how did this project come about? What got you guys involved in the project?
Okay, so to make it short and sweet, most of the founding team, we were just invested in a project. It got rugged. Afterwards, we gathered everyone who was a part of it and who was a victim, and we basically, we just talked about it. We grieved together, and then the group started to develop. We started to discuss other projects, the signs of avoiding, rugs like red flags and such, how to be smart with your trading, with averaging in, doing your own research. And then a select few of us, we had a similar vision and similar attitude towards crypto and ambition. We started having, weekly meetings. Jean-Pierre was a part of them as well. And eventually we started to come up with this, concept of a safer place to invest your money, which, led to the vision of Sonar, not just being a safe project to invest and hold your assets in, but also a way to help you find projects that are safe to invest and hold your assets in.
And for the people that are watching that don't know what a rug pull in the crypto space, that means that all of the liquidity was pulled from the project and no one was able to exit that project. It's very detrimental. It's done quite often when you're dealing with projects that are set up really to be a scam from the very beginning. They get a lot of people involved and they simply pull all the liquidity so no one can cash out of it. So that's that.
Peter, don't me interrupt. Is there a way to detect who might face a rug pull before it happens? Are there certain telltale signs?
Well, there are some. There's some basic ones like providing a link that shows the liquidity is locked in an LP locker, which locks the pairing so that, there's a timer on it, whether it's 30 days, a year. And, with that, you at least know that it can't be pulled out for a certain amount of time. And the thing is that is the one-to-one definition of a rug pull, but there are soft rugs, which are when maybe the development team bought most of the supply of the token with multiple wallets. And then once the project's doing really well, with all those wallets, they slowly just ladder out the price. And then everyone is left holding something that's not worth anything. And those are the harder ones. And those are the ones you really want to look out for.
I think one of the big things is, first of all, development teams that I mean, I know Elias now, right? We're talking to the devs on these projects. So many projects in the crypto space, especially on the DeFi side, are anonymous teams that you don't even know who's involved with it, that you can't go look at their background on a LinkedIn, and find out information about them. And I don't know if anybody would invest in a company that had no founders, that nobody would let them know who was doing it. I don't understand why people do it in the crypto space. And this is definitely, if you go to the website for Sonar, it's a completely what's called the docs, so documented team. And that was one of the things that brought us together. We're a documented team. They're a documented team. People that are willing to say, here's what we're doing, and here's what we've done in the past, and here's who's responsible for managing and making this project work. Jean-Pierre?
Yeah, I guess adding a little bit with what Elias was saying in terms of detecting rug pulls, I think as time passes on, it gets a little bit more and more elaborate. So, I think also, of course, even with liquidity not being locked, let's say, for example, um, even for things that say liquidity is locked, it could still sometimes be a rug pull, like Elias was saying, is a soft rug pull, but also just sometimes topics as well. Let's say all the parameters are right. Sometimes just the topic might be a little bit off, or the type of content that's being brought back and forth in the group might not be, let's say, the most productive. So you could also look a little bit into the sentiment of what people are saying and discussing that, also to evaluate the value of a product and seeing, if what they're actually going to be is like of utility or just a way to make money and, effectively victimize the people who are investing.
Yeah,
Well,
making sure that there's functionality to the cryptocurrency, right? That there's a reason for the project to exist. Go ahead, Elias.
well, basically you have your hype tokens like the different dog and meme tokens, which in theory have no utility, and they're based on just community shilling, and the term shilling is to promote on different social platforms, word of mouth, Twitter, looking at a celebrity tweet and then having your whole community comment on it so they pay attention. And then a lot of these tokens, they start with no utility, and then once they realize they're doing well, they decide to add utility, quote unquote, and do something like an NFT marketplace, or they create a swap feature that is just like a clone of PancakeSwap. And you have to be careful with that because, in a sense, that's not so much utility. That's just kind of like, oh, our project is going better than we thought, and it's still going. It's not going to go well if we don't add something. So let's just throw something on it. And like, that's not how companies are run. Like, that's not how people invest smart money.
So I'd be eager to learn more about Sonar and sort of the evolution of what it is that you've done and the utility that you've created, perhaps.
Okay, so we have our CIO Cristiano, and he has 20 years in the design experience world with user experience. He's got some awards with the Apple Store. He had App of the Year, so he's our main lead on designing the platform itself. And the platform will essentially be an all-in-one holistic, analytic tool. So it could be as simple as you pick a project, let's say TruBadger. You look them up on our platform, and you see some very like really easily defined parameters that a new investor could even notice, where it's like the goods, like the liquidity is locked this long, the dev is doxed, there's a use case. And then the bads, it's the dev is holding too much of the token, just like the red flags and the green flags. And then we have our CFO Michael. He's very versed in the trading world, and he's going to create a lot of analytical tools for trading and signaling. And we basically want to take the fact that everyone has to have 5 or 6 tabs in different platforms open to trade effectively in crypto and safely. We want to bring it to one place, and we just want to streamline all that information into one, very neatly wrapped package that is not just easy to use, not just informative, but it also, it looks like it's made for the user by the users. Because as I'm sure in crypto, a lot of these platforms, even if they have really good analytics and function, it doesn't seem like they're made for the user experience. It seems like they're made by a robot or something. So, as you can see from the screen share that's been pulled up, we do have, and those are mock-ups. That's not the official platform, but we are taking, a lot of care into the user experience behind that. And as you just scrolled by, there was a section on social media sentiment on the platform mock-up. Yeah, right there. So you can see, you'll be able to gauge how well they do on certain social medias, which is a very important one as well.
So is there a cost to users, or is there a free model and then a premium model?
Yeah, so there's a tiered system. So just for the basic platform, those things will be available for everybody to use. And then based on how much ping that you hold, you'll be able to get into more selective capabilities. So the coin amount is not specific. I know it says on the website 250,000 ping, but as market cap increases, that's obviously going to increase the price to get in. So we obviously want to acknowledge that our whole purpose of the project is to benefit the users, especially people who are new into crypto. So making the barriers for entry to be affordable and for as friendly as possible for anybody to use. So in the other tiers, there'll be more selective where you could look into doing some trading signals. You could look at more in depth into analysis and sentiment, let's say for just social media, like what Elias was saying. And those are the things that we're definitely going to be expanding more as time passes on, that Cristiano and of course Mike will have more in detail about, but some things need to be concrete.
Yeah, there is some intellectual property that we're keeping to ourselves for now. Just we've given a lot of the standard features we will have, but yeah, there's going to be a lot more than what people know already.
One of the interesting things that you guys talked about here was holding the token to get better access for things. This is something that's new, right? Normally in business, I'm going to use a platform. I'll pay $9.99 a month or $29.99. There's something that's different about crypto where I can get access to products by holding the asset itself, and then that gives me access to it. Can you guys kind of cover that in this space? Because it's actually it's a new phenomena, right? That you have to hold the crypto in order to then have additional access to different products and services.
Sure. So I guess going back to the main idea of having that barrier of entry to be low so that people can afford it. I know that with a lot of subscription plans, I think it's like a pay once entry. You don't have to keep going and repaying just because I know that, especially for maybe there are investors in other parts of the country or other parts of the world who are not able to financially afford it. And we want it to be so that people are able to maximize their growth in learning about crypto and to maximize their efficiency when it comes to research. So we want everything to be pretty much almost in a way like in a platter to be given, because that's something that we would like for ourselves. Let's say us founders, that we weren't able to find. There's a lot of barriers of entry just based on information that you can find. Not only that, there's like a lot of lack of information, and even if there is, the quality may not be the best. So we're trying to really focus on bringing the best quality for the best price available.
And to expand on that a little more in terms of what you were asking, Peter. So with a tier system in crypto, when you have holders, locking up their tokens to use the features, typically they're staking it. So they're doing, if it's, let's say it's 100,000 tokens of paying of our token, they will typically have to pair it with, let's say, BNB, an equal amount of dollar value of it. And doing that also protects, every other holder's asset in that, which, when there's enough holders doing that, that's, what you might call a form of protected wealth. And
yeah, so I'm a holder. I'm going to stake it. So I'm creating value. I'm not getting the service for free. By staking it and putting up the tokens, I'm providing value to the project. Yeah. And so I'm receiving value by having access to it.
It's an ecosystem.
Spending money to get the value, I create value to get the value. And that's exactly what I was trying to get to, Elias.
Yeah. And
the thought process that's going on in crypto that didn't really exist in a lot of other business types that were out there.
Well, and when you're staking, you're gaining rewards as well on your rewards of using the features. And the system of subscription is a bit dated because you're giving this fiat dollar away and then it's gone. It's out of your hands and now you can't grow it. If you're staking your token in a tier system, you have the choice to remove it and take your money back. You see where I'm going with that? Yeah. So it's a lot smarter of a model. And also, believers in blockchain and crypto, a lot of them don't want to hold all their money in fiat as well, because for lots of reasons.
So just if you don't mind, we have some folks who might be novice to crypto. Could you describe what staking is in plain English?
Yep. So staking is basically when you take the asset you own in the project, like our token, you hold it, and then you pair it with another token, and then you basically you lock it up. Some have timers, some don't. You basically provide that for the value of the project, and then it basically you get money back like interest, the rewards.
So is it similar to collateral?
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah, and it's usually used to secure the network, to lower supply. Right, we're in any type of trading is supply and demand. So if it's locked up, there's less supply on the marketplace, which can help increase the price of the cryptocurrency itself. So there's quite a few reasons why it's set up in that way.
Right.
So helping with the stability also of the price, with larger liquidity pools, people can buy and sell more without having too much of a problem of dramatic price changes as well. So that also is a benefit.
Right. And I guess generally speaking, it would be better to be in a project where there is staking occurring or not.
It's so diverse in this space right now. Definitely staking is people believe in the project because I'm going to have to send my crypto to the project to hold it. So it definitely helps in that confidence side of things. So with a lot of the DeFi tokens that are coming out right now, there's automatic reflection, which is not staking, but it's holding your wallet. It's a form of it. So this is a pretty wide open space, but definitely staking is one of the good aspects of the crypto environment that's out there, the crypto verse, as I call it.
You'll forgive me, Peter. We're trying to take people from street level to curbside to platform.
Yeah, well, and I got to tell you, this is what kept me out of it for a little while, is just the complexities of it, and just, I mean, there's so much to it. It's almost like a new world, right? DeFi is an incredible opportunity, right? Because it removes a lot of the middlemen, a lot of the expenses out. And if you can remove the expenses out and accomplish the task for a lot less, then more of that money can go back to the investor, the person providing the funds. So that the efficiency in the DeFi space is why, interest rates are better. They're able to pay you for staking. They're able to pay you for a lot of this stuff, or compensate you for the value that you're creating, because there's not, there's not some guy that has 3 mansions and 4 yachts that needs to pay the gas bill on them, right?
Yeah. and in that same respect, it's a new language, crypto and blockchain. And so, something we're doing at Sonar that I personally started last week was an education on blockchain series on our Twitch stream. And so I'll be doing another one tomorrow where all the users in our community, you don't even have to be a holder. I share the link. Everyone comes in and it's an open discussion. We watch some videos on specific blockchain concepts, such as staking, such as just the simple definitions of DeFi, such as the difference between Ethereum and the Binance Smart Chain, and why people use one over the other. And, the other week we watched videos for 2 hours, and, people were really engaging and learning a lot, and then realizing they have to watch these videos again on their own. And that's how it starts. That's how smarter investors, get created in the space.
And Bob, that's why we connected with these guys, because we're doing the same thing, right? It's education. It's people that care. It's projects that care. And these are the projects that people should look to get involved with, not financial advice, but it's people that care about the future of the blockchain, the future of where this is going, and care about the people that get involved. If people keep getting involved and they keep getting cheated and they keep having problems and there's difficulties and they're lost, they're going to say, forget that, I'm going to go back over here and just stick with it. So it's huge in what these guys are doing, and trying to, with the education side of things and with the guidance that they're putting together.
Yeah, as folks know who watched our last episode on how to avoid scams, it was educational, and I'm hoping that many folks who watched it will at least think twice about doing something that they might not have thought twice about before. So that's to our benefit there. Let me go back to the subscription model. I'm sure folks are wondering, what does it cost? Have you established pricing for these different tiers yet, or ballpark pricing?
So we don't have anything concrete at the moment, just because, like you're saying, it's going from, let's say, market cap of what Peter was saying, 800,000 or a million to 20 million. That value of one ping definitely increases with the market cap. So, as time passes on, when we actually have the platform established, since we're developing it right now, figuring out, let's say, at the launch here and maybe projections of how the market cap is going to increase, we could try shifting around and calculating what might be the most efficient price of entry, let's say, for the beginning tiers.
And again, the unique thing will be is you'll acquire Sonar tokens, ping, and you'll essentially stake that, and that'll give you that access to the project, right? So it's a different model than just, hey, it's $9.99 a month, or $29.99 a month, or $49.99 a month.
And it could be as simple as us saying something like tier 1 is this many dollars worth of ping. If we have to do that, we will. We just you have to play it one day at a time with the crypto market as things are pretty volatile right now.
Yeah, Peter, I'd lean on you to figure out what we haven't asked that we should be asking and learning about here.
So guys, tell us a little bit about, so this is a global team, correct? You have people in how many different countries right now?
9.
I would say. So I guess we could list the countries. I mean, there's Malta, for example, in New Zealand, Singapore, Canada, the US. Let me see. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Indonesia, for example.
Italy.
So we have people here and there, essentially.
So we have an international team, and because of that, our community is very strong in its international sentiment. And first week in, we had over 6 different language channels. I think we're at maybe 10 or 12 now, and it's great to see in our main chat that there's a lot of people from the other languages who don't speak English as well, still conversing and practicing that. And as community lead, I've made it, my responsibility to let all of our holders know when you see someone say something that comes across a little strange to you, maybe they're not a native English speaker, and don't just assume that they're being rude, and maybe just have a little patience and open-mindedness. And it's really starting to resonate with people. And I feel like our long-term holders are all starting to gain this sense of community and maybe take a step back, from that ego that we might have when we are talking online and we're anonymous and we feel like we can say what we want. And to me, that's very important, especially, I have a lot of years of experience in online video game community management, and that is a very difficult space to moderate.
Well, I think you bring up something super important there, Elias, and that is the value of community in the cryptocurrency space and in the entire blockchain. And that is actually part of where I believe the value comes from. This is allowing people to participate, right? Own your own data, control your own destiny along those lines. And that's the part of the blockchain, cryptocurrency, the representation of the blockchain. That's a big part of it. I've been saying for the last 5.5 years, community is the commerce of the future. And this is the proof of it. When communities come together for a common focus, they can create wealth together. And that's a huge basis of the cryptocurrency movement that's taking place.
When it comes to crypto, communities are very, we like to say they're conditioned to be used to, a very toxic atmosphere that is all about, buy, shill. And we've done a very good job with our community when, let's say, a whale, which is someone who holds a lot of tokens in a project, decides to sell and create like a downwards red in the chart, a lot of people will start panicking and asking, why dump? Like, why this? And with us, you know, we're trying to help educate people on that, and that it's not a big deal. Like if this is a long-term project, then your goal is to not worry about the short-term movement of the chart. And if you're honest with yourself, right? And our CFO loves to say, breathe out short-term traders, breathe in long-term holders. And I love that so much because it couldn't be truer in the crypto space today.
That's awesome. So guys, where's the best place for them to go find out about Sonar and Ping?
So the best place would be to start off just on their website, sonarplatform.io. And that basically is the gateway to figure out all of our social media, to join our Telegram, and to really figure out more information about our project by reading the white paper, just reading the main website and seeing what our plans are and what we're hoping to achieve in the cryptosphere.
And that's perfect because remember, guys, on last week's episode, we talked about the best place to get the information to go to social media is from the project's main website, because there's so many different, versions that people put out there. If you go directly to the social media platform, so go to directly to their platform, and they'll have all the links to all their direct social media right there on the site.